The meat.
Welcome back from the break. I'm your host, Logan. This is Mostly Superheroes, PC Mike, and the Giggler. It's time to earn that name, Mostly Superheroes. It's time for the meat. It's why you came. It's our feature, our premiere, the sizzle, the chunk. And right now it is MCU heavy, talking about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. These guys have just reached into our dreams and taken our childhood versions of ourselves and given us everything we've asked for, and they have no intention of stopping. So I'll give it up for them real quick, because I don't know if we've done just a good old-fashioned fanboy out in a while. We got two of these things left, Infinity War, then this movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Endgame. We've already done the Infinity stuff. Captain Marvel. I mean, it's happening. We're wrapping this thing up. What's going to be the Infinity Saga is going to be tight. It's going to have its home on mostlysuperheroes.com/MCU.
You want to know something crazy?
Let's hear it.
Once we add to this, will be like real time.
That's
like
what
it won't be us going back to like 2008.
Exactly.
It'll be all real time.
And
real time. Go ahead.
Black Widow.
Black Widow, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys. It's gotten to where the format, it's like, okay, we watched the old thing, talk about the new thing. We're gonna talk about the new MCU titles that were announced a couple weeks ago when we had our week out of the studio.
It's like Memento.
It's like Memento.
When the past meets the present, and now we're just present.
I thought you meant it's like Memento. Andy has no idea what's going on.
Oh, like the past. We're in the past.
Yes,
kinda
we're in
do.
the
We're
past.
slowly coming together, and now we're going to be boom.
And what an
All
experience
present.
it's been. We've had so many fun moments connecting things from movies to shows we're watching now. It's going to happen again today. Let me just go and give a spoiler alert. Let's go and talk about our feature that is next. In the MCU rewatch, after being introduced in Ant-Man in 2015 and reprising the role in Captain America Civil War, taking place around the same time, right after, actually, Avengers Infinity War, is the 19th MCU title. Marvel Studios and Kevin Feige, of course, along with writers Chris McKenna and Erik Sommers, directed by Peyton Reed. It's a film that, in my mind, does its job, held us over while waiting on Avengers Endgame. It's fun, it's light, and a little dark in the end. It's 2018. Paul Rudd is back with Evangeline Lilly and Michael Douglas in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let's give it up. Before we do our gut checks with the crew here, it came out July 6, 2018, right in between, in my opinion, the two biggest superhero movies of all time. This was the We'll Hold You Over Just Fine at a budget of $195 million, and it only made, in Marvel standards, $622 million. Still,
Made $500 million.
yeah, it tripled its money. It did okay. I just watched it today. I loved it all over again. This is a fun movie. This is one of those weird movies, though, with the timing it takes place in the whole story of things. Let's go ahead and look at Giggler, our MCU guy, that has seen this thing how many times at this point? And you said you watched it.
I will
Recently,
honestly.
too.
This is what's kind of rare for this. I don't think I've seen this in full since the theaters.
Yeah.
So it was
'Cause
good.
It's one of the later movies.
Yeah. So today I made sure that I paid triple attention while I was watching to kind of catch everything in better than normal, I guess.
Yeah. How was your experience revisiting it today and actually giving, like you said, that full attention?
AKA I watched it while I worked, but it was great. Honestly, I now I kind of ask myself why I hadn't rewatched it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it came on TV one time and I watched half of it, but I do that with most movies that are Marvel at all times. So Endgame was on again last night. It's like
It was.
Jeez.
I turned it on as soon as Tony Stark did the thing.
Did
the thing. That's all.
That's good. That was a good way to do that.
Oh God.
For new MCU fans.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
I think there's a lot of new fans out there.
Because if they're watching all these videos in order,
This guy.
yes,
Well, not yeah. No, go ahead.
then they're about to get to that movie. So,
They're about to get there. That
which
was
is insane.
That was the part. I remember being in theaters and being like, "Oh my God, this is just until the next one." PC Mike, first time watcher.
First time watcher.
Okay, and
It was a fun movie. I don't think it was. I'm not blown away. some stuff was really cool, like some graphics and things.
Yeah.
Like when they go big and small.
Yep.
But it was a fun movie. It was lighthearted, I thought, most of the times. I love Ant-Man as a character. Paul Rudd does a great job. Michelle Pfeiffer, for some reason, is still a fox to me in this film.
Our
Just a
Catwoman.
rocket.
I was going to ask you about that.
I was
Oh,
like, I'm on her Wikipedia right now. I'm just like, man,
Still looking great.
still looking great.
Just looks unbelievable.
Just, yeah,
If you're not considering bringing her back for Catwoman in this Flashpoint movie, what are you doing?
you're not doing it right.
You got Keaton.
She could still do it.
But you had a good time with it.
Yeah.
Like you said, nothing that was like mind blowing. It's a good movie, good story, funny, easy to watch.
I think it was, like you said, I think it's a good transition. I think it's a little more lighthearted. Let's go back and find her, like, kind of storyline.
Yeah. And I also like how this movie actually is kind of like that. It's like lighthearted, it's fun, happy stuff. Whenever we all kind of know exactly there's actually this big dark thing looming about this. Let's go ahead and talk about this thing. Give a spoiler alert for the film, as well as a spoiler alert for Captain America Civil War, and of course a spoiler alert for Avengers Infinity War. This is big stuff because the way this movie lands, the end credit scene, and the story how it wraps up, you really need to have seen Infinity War, so that's your big spoiler alert for that movie, but we are talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Let's get a quick 2-minute little recap right now. Make it quick, tight, make the connections where they matter. Scott Lang is back after the events of Captain America Civil War when he fought in Germany against Iron Man and a whole bunch of other Avengers. In this movie, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Scott is actually on house arrest. And, it's a war crime. This is because of the Sokovia Accords that are a thing. And when this movie picks up, he only has a couple days left on this.
Like 3 or 4.
3 or 4 days left of this 2-year sentence of being home. And it's so, first of all, you find out it's been 2 years since Civil War. Time has passed, which falls right in line with the movies that fall around this. Another ramification of Civil War, other than Scott's house arrest, Hank Pym, played by Michael Douglas, and his daughter Hope, played by Evangeline Lilly, who you might remember from Lost. They're on the run from the government and also trying to bring back Hope's mother. Someone's phone. You guys hear that beeping?
I was trying to time you to see how long you go. And then
Is my time?
timer
Is my
just
time already up?
went off.
Oh,
Yeah. I started it
man.
earlier.
Oh man, no! You're like Andy. You started during the warm up.
I didn't know that was your warm up. I thought you were going.
I legit thought like a bomb was about to go
Yeah,
off.
that
I just
was
heard
weird.
toot 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 toot. I was like, "There's gonna be a bomb."
Maybe it's Michael Douglas pushing that button and shrinking his whole little place.
All right. Speaking of Dr. Pym, Hank Pym, watch the alarms. PC Mike, man, that made me
It was
sweat.
from my PC too.
It was from your PC. Michael Douglas and his daughter Hope, Evangeline Lilly, on the run from the government, also trying to bring back Janet Pym, a.k.a. Michelle Pfeiffer, a.k.a. Catwoman, like I said. She's in the quantum realm, Mike's favorite. And we also meet Ghost, a.k.a. Ava Starr, played by Hannah John Kamen. She is the villain of the story in this one. She's a victim of the quantum realm. She has these really cool phase-in and phase-out powers. And her whole thing is, I want to destroy Hank Pym because he caused me to be like this. And I also want to suck the energy from Mrs. Pym when she gets out of the quantum realm because that's going to like heal her from this phasing disease she has. We also meet Simon Birch, our other antagonist of the story, played by the hilarious Walton Goggins. This is the guy from Vice Principals, The Righteous Gemstones.
Yep.
Just amazing. He's
awesome.
He's so great. He just nails it in this. Honestly, I think he's like very purely the comedic relief in this. Like I didn't take his villain even like kind of seriously, but I thought that kind of made it fun. It gave his kind of beeline characters to Scott Lang, his friends, someone to interact with, a villain for them. And of course, Luis, Scott's best friend in the movie, played by Michael Pena, comes back. He's the fast-talking storytelling guy. He does a great job in this. Well, in the end, Ant-Man and the Wasp do defeat Simon, Ghost. They bring back Janet Pym, and they even get Scott home in time for the FBI to release him from the house arrest. It's a happy ending where everyone wins, or so you think. And that's Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Nice. I did start your timer too early.
How was it actually?
I think it was around 2 minutes.
I think we're getting
2:30.
right at that 2 minutes. What matters? Who's in it? Where does it connect? What happens? And let's not even mess around. I don't know. I almost want to wait on talking about the end credit scene because that's like a whole nother discussion. Why don't we before we do that? I kind of want to just talk about any big parts that we have in the movie, and I have a few listed to kind of get us rolling. I loved anytime he becomes big giant man.
He gets sleepy.
Don't we all?
He gets real sleepy after he gets too big.
Oh, I just need like a 5-minute nap.
I like when he got his suit breaks and he's in the school and he shrinks down to like
Yeah.
he shrinks down to like 4 feet.
Yeah, and he's like, "Hey kid,
He's a
stop!
little
Kid,
kid.
stop!"
He's like, "Hey kid, wait!" And he just runs with
And
the rain
teacher's
jacket
like,
on.
"I don't care."
It reminded me of like
Was that relatable as
Yeah,
a teacher?
it reminded me of like Deadpool 2 when he was like the baby with the
Growing back.
oh yeah.
Yeah, growing back. Yeah, because I thought that was great that they did that. They're like, we always see him like really small or like really big. Like, what if he just like kind of shrank?
Mhm.
But that was pretty good.
I love the like stepdad.
Oh yeah, the cop, the
Who
stepdad.
always hugs him like
Yeah.
when they're leaving, like his ex-wife.
Like they ended on such good terms, I guess, in
Yeah.
Ant-Man that he's like, "Come here, give me a hug."
Yeah.
He's like, "You got this, dude. Only a few days left."
I love you, man. That sweet like slide he made for his daughter at his house, like in the
Oh,
very beginning.
yeah.
The
I was
opening
like,
sequence, everything about him being home. You know what I realized was like it was like quarantine ahead of its time.
Yeah. I
They're
was really
like-
just thinking that.
like, so we've tracked your movements. You take a 2-hour bath every day or something. He's like, "No, I don't." And that ant's just
Yeah.
sitting in that tub.
Yeah, she goes, "Yeah, he follows your schedule pretty closely. 5 hours in bed, 2 hours in the bath."
Yeah.
And he goes, "That doesn't sound that accurate."
It's like,
He learned magic from
Yeah.
his daughter. I love Jimmy Woo in this movie. Kind
That's-
of jumping ahead to connections, but we see James Woo come back in WandaVision, and this is where we meet this character. He's
he's
unbelievable.
kind of
Love
a
him.
jerk
Love
in
him.
this one, but
He's
I think
kind
it's
of
his job.
but he's the FBI,
Yeah.
But he's also like a realistic, nice guy. Like he apologized, like whenever they catch the bad guy,
Yeah.
he's like, "Yes," and he's like, "Oh, sorry, Scott, that was insensitive."
he's like at the very end, he's like, Scott's like, "All right, I'll see you later." He's like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
It's like, "I mean, like I'll see you later." And then he's like, Scott's like, "Do you want to grab dinner?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Well, do you?" And he's
Yeah.
like,
Agent Woo. He's like, "I'll be seeing you around,"
Yeah.
and he's like, "When?" And he's like, "I just mean like in general.
in
like,
general,
if you,
like I'm gonna catch you.
if you do something bad, I'll get you."
He's like, "All right."
I like how he explains to Scott's daughter in the beginning of the movie. She's like, "Why is my dad under house arrest?" And he's like, "I know it's kind of complicated, for kids to understand. Let me try to put it in simple terms. You know how your school has rules? Well, your dad flew to Germany, fought against the Avengers, and he broke the Sokovia Accords, and he fought Captain America, fought Iron Man."
Cap.
Now he's in
All
detention.
Cap.
Calls him Cap.
Yeah, the quarantine, that was on my list. The slide, everything he's doing, karaoke, Giggler.
Drumming.
Any other moments that you're looking at that you that particularly stuck out?
Big fan of all the ant puns at all times.
All times.
You know my feeling about puns. So Antonio, etc. All those. I would have loved to have more Luis at all times.
Yeah.
Everything he said was hilarious. Yeah, we did like the was that.
Yeah. He's like, you guys remember that classic commercial?
It's one of the best parts of the movie. And also like all the creative uses of the powers basically in that scene at the end was pretty awesome. Pez dispenser, like the Hot Wheels. He was big and he was riding like the 18-wheeler as like a scooter.
He's just pushing with his leg.
I was like, that's awesome. It made me think like if I had that suit, what would I use these powers for?
Oh,
And
man.
I don't know.
It'd be hard just not to like be big and like see how far you could run.
I'd probably
Like
I'd
jump.
probably be small more, be sneaky, and
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
it doesn't make you as sleepy.
that's true. I'm always sleepy, so I try to. I don't know what I'd do.
All right. Let's talk about some connections. We also have, let's talk about what you need to see, what you don't need to see. Ant-Man is the prequel to this, is the original film. So I'd say, yeah, absolutely. You got to see it. Sets up all the characters. Captain America Civil War, a middle movie that features Ant-Man, must watch. And absolutely Infinity War and Endgame, you got to see them. A bonus, I already mentioned it, but WandaVision does feature again Agent James Woo in the show after this movie takes place. So this would be something that you'd watch early on and it would connect it. Why don't we go and do some ratings? I'll get mine out of the way. I like it. I'm kind of like you, Mike, not like crazy blowing me out of the water. It's when I revisit. Even when I watch it now, it's just hard not to feel like, it's a placeholder. It feels really mean to say that because I know that like a lot of people, this movie is its own movie in its own right. A lot of people worked on it, looked beautiful, did its job, but you can't help but be like, all right, Endgame is next. I'll give it a 3.1. Let's go PC, Mike.
So you're
Yeah.
from the first timer.
That's exactly where I was. A fun movie. Didn't really kind of advance the story, I guess, with the end credit scene. But I was right at a 3.0.
3.0?
Yep.
Like it. Solid score, fair score.
I wrote this down. I had the same exact score as Logan, 3.1.
3.1. Look at that. I saw you nod your head. I was like, does that mean we're the same? We all fall in line. It's not all the time.
Yeah,
but sometimes.
It's just better than I thought it was, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I just don't give Ant-Man enough credit.
Yeah.
Paul Rudd is
I think Paul Rudd
is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, and here's what's not
He's
fair.
perfect.
You take out the Infinity Saga. Imagine you don't even know Iron Man never happened, but then this movie came out. You'd be like, that's the best movie I've ever seen in my whole life, probably, if you had never even heard of any of the Avengers.
Yeah, because I think they do a good job, even if you haven't watched everything in this movie. I think it's almost could be a
standalone film outside.
It kind of tells its own little story.
It's in its own bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go and talk about this end credit scene and break away from that bubble because that's where everything changes. Again, major spoiler alert for Avengers Infinity War. Major. Okay, so you guys know what happened in Infinity War. The snap, now referred to in the Marvel Cinematic Universe as the blip, killed half of everybody in the universe. And this was a big question in Infinity War. Where's Ant-Man? He's not in the big fight. He's not at Wakanda. He's not on Titan. It's like, where is this guy? Oh, well, he was on house arrest because of what he did in Civil War. And then he's dealing with his own problems in this fight thing. End credit scene, happy story. Janet Pym's back. They're on a roof. It's time to go into the quantum realm and take out the particles to help heal our ghost friend that we met earlier in the movie. Scott goes in. He plays a little joke on him, the microphone cuts, the walkie-talkie goes out. And he's like, no, I'm just kidding. I'm here. And then they said, we're going to bring you back in 5, 4, 3, 2. Silence. He's like, all right, guys, get me out of here. He's just floating in the quantum realm. It's very funny. Ha, 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 ha. Goes up. They've all 3 been dusted, killed, dead from the Thanos snap.
Rip.
Oh my God. It was that's what I was waiting for.
Mm-hmm.
When you're in theaters, you're watching this movie, you've just seen Infinity War, you're like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen at some point. When, and how? Did you guys ever notice, or did you notice when you watched this, right before he gets snapped, all those moving yellow things in the quantum realm? Did you ever notice this? There's a theory out there about this, about that whenever Thanos did the snap, because Paul Rudd was in the quantum realm, there's a theory that maybe whatever the soul is, it exists there, and they all start shoot. You see all these yellow things start shooting around right whenever he can't go back up, and they're saying that's all the people getting dusted.
Ooh,
I know.
a little morbid.
I know.
There was
like I said, it gets dark here in the end.
a little clip where you could see a little city kind of in there,
Ooh,
and people are
you
I've
can see
heard
where it is.
connecting to the third Ant-Man, which we have confirmed that the villain is going to be Kang the Conqueror, played by Jonathan Majors. That's already confirmed.
Yeah, that's confirmed.
And I can't remember when this comes out exactly, but Quantumania, so obviously it's going to be a lot.
February 17th, 2023.
That's
There we
right.
go.
That's right. That's right.
That's not that far away.
Yeah, because Quantum Realm, it's very time travel, especially from what we learn in Endgame. Try to keep it spoiler free, but you learn about how it affects time.
That's what Kang does. So evidently they're
What's he do?
people time travel.
He's a time traveler.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you learn this in your books?
No.
In your studies?
I could though. Honestly, it was mentioned. No, never mind. I take that back.
No, but
I was just getting to
but
creation
you
of
already
Ant-Man.
knew though.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's that's a connection that we could see for the new one, because we've heard for a while that might be the next Thanos,
Yeah.
the big bad of the next phase. So we haven't really heard anything confirmed.
He's a pretty big villain, it looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's he's known. I almost said he's major known. Is his name Jonathan Majors?
Chronopolis, I think, was the name of the city that people are thinking it might be. I guess that's where he lived.
Deep cuts.
So he could be in that. I'm just kind of spitballing and just guessing. Maybe he was negatively affected by that moment that we saw where
right.
Oh.
The snap. So maybe that's what kind of causes him to. And obviously,
Oh,
they just time traveled and potentially mess something up. Like obviously with Loki.
Yeah.
Here's another. This is where I believe I saw that where like Kang being introduced is potentially for that, because there's a scene in the Loki trailer where you can see what looks like his like Kang's head like in the background,
Oh,
like
geez.
like not his actual head, but it's like ancient ruins or something that they're in, and you can see it like
It's like
his
another
art like on the big statue type thing. So
Plus, they could be like in any universe, any
Yeah.
version of the world.
yeah, exactly. That's
Well,
just gets me more excited for Loki.
No, we're going to talk more about this too because, like I said, we have the MCU slate pulled up in a minute, so we'll wrap this up. So yeah, we get the big blip. That's in credit scene 1. Man, what a time! I tell you, it felt like you just saw like a different part of Infinity War. Pretty cool as a fan to experience just that kind of storytelling. All these massive movies happening. I mean, you had Infinity War in 2017, and then you had Ant-Man and the Wasp, and then just a few short months later, you had Endgame. So it was pretty cool experience. And yeah. Wrap up Ant-Man and the Wasp. We want to make sure that you know what comes next, so you know how to watch these things in release order if you're trying to have like the first real experience. Captain Marvel is next.
Your favorite?
It's next.
I've never seen it.
We're gonna watch it.
I'm
gonna watch
excited.
it.
I really do enjoy it, and I think like you said this. You're gonna enjoy it more this time around. I really feel like we've beefed this up too more than what it is. And I've never said that I hate the movie. I've never said that. I just said
It's
I
strongly implied that you dislike it.
I just it has a lukewarm. You talk about lukewarm, but you know what I'm excited for? You've never even seen it.
Never seen it. I've never seen Spider-Man Far From Home either. This is fun for me.
It should be. This is like the whole point. We hope that
Yeah.
we're talking to. This is who we're trying to talk to: MCU fans, and like people that are like, well, I've always wanted to kind of try it.
Yeah.
I'm jealous.
I am too. To never experience these,
And a little heads up, Spider-Man Far From Home is on Amazon Prime. I've already searched.
and we know that per the deals happening with Sony, that they are going to be coming. All the Spider-Man suite of movies are going to be coming to Disney Plus soon.
Yes.
We have heard all of them, so that's good news. Okay, so Captain Marvel, we are going to watch that next week.
Endgame we've already done.
I believe next week. We have to double check this. Actually, I can. We'll look. I'm pretty sure we're gonna do Captain Marvel next week. The only reason I'm saying maybe not is because we talked about trying to like speed through Invincible. So that's on my list too. But I really want to wrap up this rewatch. We got 2 films left. All right, let's talk about future stuff. Marvel Phase 4. This came from Bradley Russell, Molly Edwards, and Alyssa Mercante. Don't have the picture here. I think this was from Games Radar. I'll have the link in the bio, but it's Marvel Phase 4 article. I don't have the one thing I don't have here is the website. I have all of the people that wrote it. New MCU release dates, cast news, crossovers, and more. And we have the whole list. So we've had a couple variations of this schedule, but it's been changing. Obviously, Loki. I mean, this is now June 11th, so this is coming up. We're like 3 weeks away.
Even
crazy.
that's out of date. It's June 9th.
You're right. It's June. You're right. It's June 9th.
It changes
now.
every
God,
day.
It changes all the time.
Black Widow is
Because-
probably 2024 now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't
and-
say that. Don't.
No, it's going to be July 7th. Then we got What If. We still don't have a date on that. Shang-Chi, Eternals, Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, and Spider-Man 3. So we already know this. This is 2021. We've talked about this all this year. All right, so then 2022, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, March 25th, 2022. Thor, Love and Thunder, May 6th, 2022. Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, July 8th. The Marvels, which is the Captain Marvel sequel,
That has some tie-ins with WandaVision, correct?
that has some tie-ins with WandaVision and also potentially, we assume, Miss Marvel.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure.
That's November 11th, 2022. And then then Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, the third
There we
movie.
are.
That's February 17th, 2023. So then you're getting into the following year. And then Guardians of the Galaxy, Volume 3 is May 5th, 2023. So that's as far as it's going right now. Jesus Christ, these titles, they start getting really big and close together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's that little 6 month stretch there where it's Doctor Strange, Thor, and Black Panther all just right there.
And then the Marvels, like these are all movies too. Like these aren't even like there aren't series even like tucked in here now.
They're planning
There
to
will
be
be.
back to the theaters. You can kind of tell.
Well, not just that, but I don't. Even if that was the case, though, you would think you'd have some series kind of tucked in between.
Yeah, I'm
But-
sure they just haven't been announced because obviously there's things that might be holding them back, like
Yeah, right. There's more to come.
announcements because the show might be an offshoot of something that's not known yet, something like that. Because that's where my biggest question is, that kind of just what we just talked about with Kang, but like, what's gonna be the Avengers 5 movie? When's it gonna happen, and what's it gonna be about?
Yeah, exactly. And they have to be careful about telling you when things come out. It's just like with Black Panther Wakanda Forever. They couldn't tell you that was coming out until after Falcon the Winter Soldier ended. And then like there's a certain order to how they can do it. Because if they tell you there's a sequel, then you can start to put together like, oh, no, that's what happens.
Yeah, it could be like Loki season 2 next year could fill one of those gaps. I think we'll be all right on content.
Oh, we're fine at this point. Our method now, the way we're visiting titles, is looking good. But it's all happening at MCU, our MCU page, mostlysuperheroes.com/MCU. Today was all about Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like I said, Captain Marvel coming up next. So get ready, watch it, and come listen for the best experience. And with that, let's talk about what's coming up.